Okay, it's time to kick off part 1 of the Kinetic Hornet build. This time we'll be focusing on the cockpit. So the instructions start out with the ejection seat. Honestly, I'm not terribly impressed with what Kinetic's put together here. It's passable, but I would highly recommend going with a resin aftermarket setup. Just, detail, easier to deal with versus assembling this thing. But for this sake, we're going out of the box. So there's some flash on the seat. I'm going to score it away here with the knife. It's in a very convenient location. There we go. A little bit of glue. I use a lot of Tamiya Extra Thin in this build, as well as MEK when I really need stuff to stick together. Now there we go with the seat frame, adding in the ejection rail in the back. A little bit more glue. Woohoo! Putting in the top of the seat. Fit here was so-so. More glue. Press down. And there we are. Completed seat. Go ahead and glue in the cushion here. Again, the fit's decent. Detail's decent. I would still recommend going resin, Edward or Quick Boost or Aries or whoever your preferred purveyor of resin seats happens to be. And moving on to the cockpit. A lot of little details in here to play with. Now these side consoles are nice. As you'll see as the build goes on, one of them never gets put in because it pinged off the tweezers and went missing somewhere on the garage floor. That would be disastrous if I were building this thing for real, but since I'm not, who cares? Anyway, there goes the rudders in place, as you can see. Next up comes the instrument panel. This instrument panel is pretty well detailed. It would definitely make me think twice about going resin. So would many other things about this cockpit, as we'll get to in a little bit. You can see a hint here of the way it's shaped on the bottom. Here's the control stick. This is, again, the detail here is passable, maybe slightly better than passable. I think resin could be an improvement, but this is pretty good for 1/48 scale. Glue that sucker in. What have we got next? Putting in that bulkhead area there behind the seat. Nice and easy, and then the seat goes in. A little bit of a tight fit, but it works. Oh, no it doesn't. Have to sand down some of the mounting points there. Fun. There it is. Nice and in. A little bit of glue. Now we come to the back deck. This back deck it's okay, but I really wish there was a slightly more detailed version. And as I discovered, it doesn't fit well onto the back because it has these really random raised sections on the bottom that completely interfere with where it fits into the cockpit. You can see right there, they don't let it sit level. So I figured I would test it, and sure enough, it sits proud when in the actual fuselage. I have no idea why the hell those things are there, but they're there. And it's time to make them not be there. So out with the micro chisel. Get the fuck off of my plastic. This tool is a lifesaver sometimes. Come on, there we go. Yeah. All right. Got the other side to do real fast. Yeah, this doesn't have to be pretty because it's never going to be seen the way that it's going to be glued in. It's definitely a functional operation. Again, I have no idea why the hell Kinetic thought, hey, let's put these random things on the bottom of the deck. It makes no sense. Anyway, here you can see how nicely this thing slots up into the fuselage. It's got these nice little tabs that help it fit where it needs to go. So here we've got the side consoles. Everybody loves side consoles. They fit in here nice and easy. A little bit more glue. And voila, the cockpit is done. So that concludes part 1 with the cockpit. Overall, I thought it built up pretty well. Stick around for part 2 and on to see how the rest of the kit actually comes together.